Okay, I think we're going live here. I think it's working. I just gotta turn off the volume. Well, over here when it starts, so I gotta wait for it to start, it looks like. Nope, she's going. So yeah. Okay, Okay, I got the volumes all off. Uh, just gonna wait for some people to show up here. Hopefully the internet stays working. I see my drone cam. It's a little jumpy. I don't know why. It's like I gotta. Rob, hey Rob, what's going on? I bet you're pretty excited to get on your trip. You said that's next weekend? Yeah, I started the live just a little bit early because sometimes it takes me. I've been learning how to do it, so it's been going a lot smoother now. But the earlier times were a little bit rough. Sometimes I'd have to restart them, but I think I got a handle on it now. Not much. Got my batch of strawberry jam made for the year. I'll send you a pic quick. Yeah, I was gonna talk to you about like if you want me to show them pics or whatever. I know you said not to show the ones with the kids, but I could just like show them on my phone and make sure there's no sensitive information when I show it. Oh, oh, Michelle will love that. Hey, Leisure. Wow. Rob is making some strawberry jam. And then he cans it. Hey, Leisure, did you get rested up? Are you feeling better? I know you said you got kind of run down there that one night. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just keep it nice and simple. So I've never been like doxxed off any of my videos or anything as of yet. And I don't know if I have the correct definition of doxed, but I've never had any negative stuff. I get some negative comments once in a while, or at least some comments I don't like, and we deal with those. I think the most important thing is like if you don't want to be public, not to share like information like that. It took a little nap. I'm going to tell you, Michelle is very interested in all this garden stuff and all the canning you do, Rob. Sounds like somebody's dragging something down the highway. That's interesting. That was a 10 pounds of strawberries. About 8 pounds were made into jam. They're still in season. I'll get back and I'll grab another 5 pounds. Yeah, that I'm not a very good cook. I thought I was a good cook, and then Michelle started eating my food, and she didn't like it. So now Michelle does most of the cooking, but she'll love to see these new pictures. I'll tell you that. And I'm trying. Can you guys hear me all right? Anyways, I'm trying something a little new tonight. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I just had a customer drop off cookies, and me and Michelle already had a couple of piece, so better save some for tomorrow morning. But yeah, I got some customers that'll make me some cookies. A couple of those. The mailman was dragging a mailbox he ran over. Gosh, I hope not. And I'm so happy for him. He hasn't been back for any type of repairs or problems on his car. So it's been going great for him. And I know he's happy too. Okay, all right, thanks, Leisure. Rob says, LOL, my wife had her friend over early on. Oh my God, that man can cook. She had some smoked ribs. Yeah, that sounds right up my alley. Like the kind of food I like to eat. Yeah, I don't know. Did you hear that? It sounded really I don't know. Something was dragging on the highway, but it didn't go by, so it must have been on the other highway. We're intersected with a county road that's a blacktop. Yeah, I got the 68 Chevy over there. It needs the turn signal cam, the horn cam, I think they call it. And then there's a little spring wire. Somebody's happy. Well, the John Deere guy went by, so maybe it was a piece of farm equipment. And then, so I think it was yesterday, Benny stopped by and he had another root beer he brought over. But he didn't stop in. He just left it outside the door. So maybe Benny will be on tonight and we can talk about it. But this is a big bottle. Yeah, it's root beer. It says root beer right there, and it's 33% more. Spretzer Brewing Company, Glendale, Wisconsin. So it's out of Wisconsin. He only brought me one bottle, so I don't want to drink it yet. I haven't decided. So yeah, always gonna. Here's the other bottle. He brought me and Michelle both one of these, the Spring Grove soda pop root beer. Leisure says check LMC truck. They might have the parts. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I didn't really look too hard yet. I'm just wondering. I got some like late 70s stuff out in my brother's shed. I'm just wondering if some of that stuff is compatible, but I'm not sure if it will be or not. But his turn signals won't shut off when he turns the wheels without that. And then the horn button was right on the middle of the steering wheel. No wonder it was shorting out. I don't think what he meant shorting out was actually shorting out. It was just his horn don't work, and it was tripping the relay or the horn relay. Yeah, it must have a relay in there because you can hear it tripping when he turns the wheel. Like it's not making full contact all the time to that little copper brush, but you know what's funny? I was at the brewery when I was in Wisconsin this year. Yeah, this stuff is in. It says fire brewed craft soda. I mean, I really want to try it, but I'd like to get another bottle before I do, so we can talk about it. Made with honey, natural honey, antioxidant. So this is a 16-ounce bottle, and the regular bottles are 12. So yeah. Oh, and then so this truck was supposed to be here in the morning, but he didn't show up until after lunch. And then I had scheduled an oil change for right after lunch. So I did that first, the oil change, because that was scheduled for 1 p.m. And then I had scheduled a TPMS sensor for mid-morning, and that didn't show up until like 2 o'clock. So I got that in after the oil change, put the TPMS sensor in it. And then hey Michelle. So then I brought the Chevy in over here because he was supposed to be here this morning. That's a picture from, Rob says, a brewery in Wisconsin. I wonder if me and Michelle were here. Do you remember the name? Yeah, I think we were. You remember the name of this place? It looks just like one we were at. Zoom in behind the bar on the logos up there. Tarp room. Yeah, we were there. Because I'm sure, Michelle, were we at the tarp room in Wisconsin when we went up there? Where's the bottle you got? You got it is from. It's where the bottle you got is from. Yeah, Benny brought this over. Well, it says Glendale, Wisconsin. Spiritual. Oh, I see it up there. Yeah, I think that's where we were, Michelle. I can recognize the waitress in the bar setting. What were we doing up there? I can't remember. We were in Wisconsin for something. Yep. Oh yeah, we were at oh gosh, what did we do? Yeah, that's a coincidence, Rob. That's for sure. I'm just thinking I'll show Michelle this picture tonight, and then we'll come up with the. If I'm pretty sure we were here because I remember that TV above the taps, or maybe I was there and Michelle wasn't. Yeah, she's got one of those emojis. I don't use very many emojis. I try not to. We're fixing an excavator in Wisconsin. You know, yeah, no, we were doing the starting units in Wisconsin. Maybe that's when we did it on the way home. Remember that? Baird Center hosts major conventions. Yeah, so this morning I had all the two missed appointments. So I'm like, I figured they weren't coming. So I cleaned up in Michelle's area over on the other side where we're going to turn that into a reception, a waiting area slash. Oh, we're going to do coffee and soda and snacks. What a coincidence, though. Did mean to do. No, that's fine, Rob, because we just talk about everything. I plan on staying on a little while tonight. As soon as I seen the logo, I was like, been to that brewery. Yeah, that's starting units. That's what I said. I think my chat lags pretty much behind, or a little bit behind. But anyways, I'll show Michelle that picture when I get home. But yeah, I got this Chevy in, and then the TPMS sensor did that. Found out that it's differential. The pinion seal's leaking oil all over. So he goes on some trips with this truck. It's F-150, and I told him, I said, I think we better check it out and see how much oil is in there before you go on a trip. And it'd probably be a good idea to put seal in there. So he's going to come back for that. And then the oil change was on a 2022 Trailblazer with only 38,000 miles. Let me look. (2022) Chevy Trailblazer, 38,000 miles. And I've done the oil change since it had I don't know, I've done a couple of oil changes on it. And he was 2,000 miles overdue this time. But everything's good. There's no oil leaks or nothing wrong with it. I couldn't find nothing wrong with it. No oil leaks, and that's unusual. Let's see what size engine. For this engine, it's a 1.3 liter little turbocharged thing. All right, let me get this off the screen. So yeah, I want to show you guys. I cleaned up in there and it's really good. So this is where we're doing the graphics. Oh yeah. So seems like we only call our suppliers to and talk to them on the days I'm doing the live feeds, but we got another one today and we only called one, and they were very excited. So it was let me put it up. So we got auto value to there. There's the 3 signs on the bottom left. I'm not having them on the Ranger right currently because I've been driving that home. So once, like Friday, but it's probably Saturday the 27th in the morning, we'll come into the shop, put all the signs on, and we're thinking we're gonna have the pickup now because we're gonna have 3 more sponsors, so to say. So we'll put all the candy and all the water, because we're giving out candy to the kids, water to the older people. And we're gonna put all the candy and water in the Ranger, and we'll hand it out with that, and then I might drive the pickup in front with all the signs on it. And then the announcer of the parade he'll announce each one of our sponsors too, so that'll be good. So let me put it back on the cam. Let's walk into the Michelle's area. I cleaned up pretty good in there. I'll grab this camera. So yeah, here's the signs. And we just made this sign today. This is our first sign we made, and then we made this one on last Tuesday. But here's where we make them. And there's my vinyl cutter. There's the computer. The vinyl supplies that I put in the bathroom. But yeah, I got it all picked up in here, and Michelle cleaned in here too a little bit. So these little half round bar tables we made. Nice table here we bought at a yard sale. And then I was telling everybody about my Busch Light can collection. Well, here it is. They're all unopened. Can't really get it down there. I just have to hold it. But I got a Busch Light for the farmers, the corn can, a John Deere can here. These are all like hunting and fishing. There's a Kevin Harvick. There's a Bass Pro Shop. The Busch Light Lime, the Busch Light Apple, a Busch Latte. These are some older cans. And this is not a Busch Light, but it's a Busch Ice. And then these are the only pounder ones I got. All right, I got that out of the way. Walking around in there. Yeah, Michelle said she's going to bring the attitude adjuster with her on the parade. Hey, Michelle, have you heard enough of Pete out of that bionic ear yet? Yeah, it's really intense for her, and I told her to turn it down really low. She says yes, Rob. I have a feeling the attitude adjuster will be getting a workout. Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming right now because I'm not used to it, so I can't wear it all day yet. Yeah, it'd be hard for her to wear it in the shop when she's here because I'm using hammer impacts and there's lots and lots of loud noises. So Rob says, I was curious to that to begin with. I've seen it to be difficult on folks who can't hear it all and then go to hearing. At least you have half here, right? Yeah, her one ear is good. Well, I don't know if it's good. Sometimes she can't hear what I'm saying. But I think she tunes me out. No, she's got one good ear. Sensory overload, I'm sure, yeah. I'm just hoping that, she can get used to it and can get used to it and because it's a big thing. Anheuser-Busch hangover. Anheuser instant hangover. I never get a hangover from that. Of course, I only drink like 4 or 5 cans. Yep. So I'll have to move my computer stuff out of there, and we're gonna put like a bar in there, and then a window right underneath the TV over here where those signs were, where the signs are, the new ones we're making. Yeah. So I can't wait for that. Just I don't have the money on it to renovate yet. The money to renovate yet. I can hear the TV, birds chirping, and the rain all at the same time. Yeah, it was raining the other day. She could hear the rain on the roof. She could hear her ice maker going, and she could hear the TV. So we're still waiting on the little Bluetooth connection device so she can. I didn't know it was a separate device, but there's another device she's got to get that can Bluetooth the TV to her thing, her device. So yeah, I haven't even cracked open my mug root beer yet. Yeah, I better crack it open because there's no can coolie on it. Hey Alan, how's the auction business going? You put on some long videos of those auctions. One night I was watching so late, you weren't even commenting back to me. Pete's going to find a way to tap into it, and he will be the voice. I could, Rob, and I probably, that would be pretty mean, but I could figure it out how to do that with one of my little. Well, I'd probably use the ESP32. Yeah. So what else do I got here? Yeah, my Busch Light collection. So there you go. There's my cans. Michelle put that one can way on the right or the left end. That's a Bluff Brothers brewery. Them guys are in Spring Valley, and they used to come over to South Lonato all the time, and I know them pretty good. We stop in there and get some of those. It's like $5 for a pour. I don't know how, Michelle. I don't know how much are them cans that they brew, and they brew it right there in Spring Valley. Pete is the mole from the ministry. So I got enough cans there. I could have a good night tonight. Yeah, if we find like there's a different kind of can, I always try to save one or two. And the other day, Michelle's kids came down and got some furniture out of my garage, and I helped them load it up. But then I went inside the house. These were all in the bottom of the refrigerator. I mean, some of the cans I seen on the bottom said 2006. But it just seems like I've been collecting these cans for longer than that. $5 for the cans too. Yeah, that's the can right on the left. A Bluff Brothers Brewery. And I got to change it to all messages. All right, go back to this. There's got to be, oh yeah, here's my little O'Reilly's display I have on my bench. There's a calendar in the back, and that's that new brake cleaner. And then they gave us some bolt parts, magnetic part trays. I think we got 3 or 4 of those. A knife, a little flashlight there. And we got a bunch of like extra big mouse pads, like they're 12 by 18 inches, I think, 16. Here's the 68 Chevy that's back there. And I originally he had me it was leaking oil on the oil pan so bad. So I pulled the oil pan off and cleaned it all up and put a new gasket on it. And I just bent under there and looked at it. I mean, we could lift it up and look at it in a little bit if you guys want to. But it's I didn't paint it or nothing. I probably should have, but it kind of just matches the rest of the engine. And it's not even a drop. Yeah, it's a driver and it's a 4-speed. For some reason, Leisure just knew it was a 4-speed. The clutch is a little jumpy. Maybe that's because of the oil that got on it from when the oil pan was leaking. But yeah, he wants to drive it and he don't have no. It makes that clicking noise when he turns his wheel. His blinkers don't shut off. You know, if he puts the blinker on, it don't cancel out. Gramps had a 56 F100. I think it is. I could be wrong on the year, but I'm not sure. 95% sure. Yeah. I just wish I had some of the ones I had back in the day. The only thing I got right now is my 79 Chevy van. Oh, Leisure saw the shifter. Oh, I just thought you knew everything, Leisure. Because, well, it is a C20. They probably, most of them probably came in manual transmission. Leisure is pretty smart about everything, though. Yeah, I don't know if it was like a car show paint job, but it's good enough to drive around for an everyday driver. I don't think he's got too much money in it. I think it might have been like a family vehicle, and then he had somebody slap a paint job on it. It's got some newer Chevy rims on it, and they're 8 volts. Oh yeah, I got a picture of Daisy. Took today. Right there, Daisy snoozing because we sent some pictures to the auto value guy, the rep, and he's like, for sure, I absolutely want to do this. And he says, yeah, I'm sorry for not being at your shop very often, but I'm gonna get some water and some candy and run it right over to you. So I expect them in the next couple days. Rear leaf springs or coils? I'm gonna have to look. It looks like coil springs. So it's got the truck arms, I think. Let me look. Yep, it's got the big truck arms. I can see them from here now. So it's coil springs. You can go back. I added a bunch of pictures today. Some may not relate to what we're doing, but yeah, locust. I have a lot of people in this town. I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about, but he also had I can't remember if it was a Honda or Toyota or something, and it lost its power steering, which was electric power steering, and a mouse chewed the wires, and I did a little video on that car too. But he does most of his like oil changes and anything he can do, he does it. The GMCs had leaf springs. Huh, I didn't know that. So the Chevys had the truck arms and GMCs had the leaf springs. That's interesting. I don't know which one would be more heavy duty. I would assume the leaf springs. I don't know. So yeah, we're super excited, and Michelle is going to call a couple more people. We got 3 more we want to get. We want to get Johnston, O'Reilly's, and then we want to get Rochester Motor Cars, which is Chevy, Ford, Toyota, and something else. So I do know the lady to call for Rochester Motor Cars, which I'll give Michelle the number for that. But we're gonna have a lot of candy and a lot of water to give out because we're gonna get some too, me and Michelle, for custom car. And I'm still waiting on my poker chips, so they are coming from, was it Taiwan, Michelle? And they've been shipped, but they might ship them on a barge. I'm not sure, because it says it's going to take a while. So let me pull up that page and I can put you on it to show you what kind of poker chips I ordered. You'll probably just barely be able to make it out, because I can't pull up the actual design of when I designed it. It won't let me. But let me pull up my order page. Yeah, I can't really make it any bigger than this. And I don't think there's any information on here that you guys can't see. So now I can put it on the computer screen. And there's the screen that I look at. And it looks just like that. The reflections are kind of going off to an angle. Yeah, I rebuilt a Mercedes 5-cylinder diesel once, and the parts for sure were shipped on a barge because it took a year to get them here. And finally, I mean, it took me a couple of weeks to put that back together because I didn't quite remember everything. But we got it running, and we had a party the next day for all day in the shop because we got that Mercedes 5-cylinder diesel all running and out the door. Yeah, so let me put it up here. So right there, arriving June 25th to July 6th, some little poker chips I ordered. And then, of course, I got my feed page up here, so now I can see what you guys just seen. Okay, I'm going back. There I am. Yeah, I thought about just sitting back today, like back here. That's weird why that did that. Okay. I don't know why. And the sun is not in my face, but it's almost in my face. But I thought I could just sit back and relax, and maybe I could see more of what's going on. And it is like 71 right now, maybe 72, but this morning it was pretty cold. It rained a little bit, and it didn't start warming up until just right now. So I finally was able to get the door open, and yep, we're still all caught up. We're at 32 invoices for the month so far, and we don't work on Sundays. And tomorrow I got a 2010 Toyota Tacoma coming in for ball joints and an AC. The AC is not working. And then I got a Toyota Camry coming in. There's something's clunking on it, or he just wants me to check out the suspension. But he always wants me to fix it whenever I find out what's wrong. Yeah, no, it's blocking. It's just bright out. And it's the sun will be setting here in about 2 hours. So Saturday is going to be a busy day, because we're not working next Saturday, so I'm having trouble getting all the oil changes in because we're fully booked up. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 6 right now that are on here for Saturday. There might be more that I forgot to put on here, because the Saturday after that's the parade, and we're not working. So we're booked out to the second week in July right now. It's pretty full. So I did have to raise the price on oil for my last oil change, and it was a 2014 Ram 3500 6.7 Cummins. I did not have the oil on stock. I had 1 quart, so we had to order it. and it doubled. The price of that Rotella T6 doubled. Takes $540. And then the air conditioning. I found out what was wrong with the air conditioning. Was that's got a manual fan clutch on it that's also controlled by the computer. So the computer part's working, but the manual part, I can't remember what they call those type of fan clutches, but it's free. It freewheels. So it should have a little drag on it, pull a little air, and it's not. So the high pressure AC is climbing pretty high until the computer kicks it on. And I think it blew some of it out of the pressure relief. So I charged it up, made them aware of that. That's what I found. And then I also told them how much the new part costs, and it's crazy expensive. It's like how much was that part, Michelle? Here, I'll look it up. I put it in his invoice so he knows about it. It's $593 for the Mopar one, which I think that's the only way to go on a part like that. The other news I have is the lady that came in with her van with the bad brakes, the bad brake fluid. She can't afford a new car. She went out looking and she says, I don't want payments. I'm old. So she wants me to fix up the van, which I was a little disappointed. You know, she's going to be putting some money into that old van that still might not make it, and she still might have to get another car. But she asked me if we could just start at the brakes and get the brakes going for her. I'm a little bit worried about them oil leaks and how bad the vibration damper is. The rubber's coming out of it and it's wobbling. So we might have to do that right away too. I'm just looking at the comments here. Coworker paid $327 at the dealer to change the serpentine belt in his 13 Highlander. I cringed when I heard that. Yeah, because most of the time, do-it-yourselfers can put their belt on. Sometimes not, but most of the time. And the belt, what's a belt going to run you? Between $30 and $50? Yeah, I think like on easy belts we charge a quarter hour and then whatever the belt costs. Oh, you did check book time. 0.5 to 1 hour, yeah. Yeah, I think I could get that done for under $100 at my shop. $28 for the Delco belt. I'm pretty sure that would be under $100 if you brought it here. Don't wait for trouble. Get it now with the AC Delco replacement parts. Yep. It's hit and miss on the aftermarket if the belt's made in the USA. Like I'll buy a Duralast belt, and the first two I buy are made in the USA, and then the next ones are made in Japan. So it's hit and miss. Same way with all the rest of them. If you get a GM one, where's that made? In Mexico? What else could we talk about? I got to get it on the right software page here. Yeah, I feel like I want one of them cookies right now. So I didn't get to eat the beef roast and the mashed potatoes last Tuesday because it got too late. And then Buff was having a live feed, so I went on Buff's live feed, and then it just got too late. I think we snacked a little bit. And Buff got bit by a tick on his vacation, so he got Lyme disease, and that's not good. But he is on some medication, and he is feeling better. Probably the same price because they're going to spend money in Michelle's lounge to get snacks and pop and coffee and I don't know what else are we going to have in there, Michelle. Yeah, so Michelle will make it tonight. She said it only takes 5 minutes to make it, but maybe 10. But I'm like, well, why didn't you start it on my way home? It's all right. I'm okay. I eat pretty good, or I would say I eat enough. Maybe not good. $125 per whip. What does that mean? Oh, that is tough, Pete. That light in my eyes would drive me insane. Yeah, I just moved a little bit. I just like I got my camera over here. My comments are over here, or they're up on the TV. So I just don't want to annoy anybody not looking into the camera. But yeah, so this one's gonna run over this Chevy pickup because I got to get the parts. But I could always put it outside. I think our weather's supposed to be halfway decent for the rest of this week until I can figure out what parts I need. Well, at least Michelle will have her own place in there, and we'll get her one of the square terminals with the big screen on it, so she can put all our tax rates in there and then sell the stuff. She's monetizing the stream, Pete. Every 125, don't know. She starts cracking. I did turn the ads on very minimum. So if the ads are bothering you, let me know and I'll go in there and see if I can turn them off. So I can monetize this live stream while we're live streaming, and I did turn the ads on to minimum. Just to see if it's annoying, just let me know. You guys just let me know and I'll turn them off. What else can we talk about? Oh, yeah, I took another picture. Here's she doesn't get enough credit for this, but here's the zip tie holder that she made me. And the second one on the left, the 11 inchers, I had to cut that one down because we made it too long. But anyways, these things are on there permanently. I cut that down and it took me like a half an hour to cut that little piece of plastic down. And it did not break loose very easily. So this is like a permanent fixing. And I told her she should make some of these for other shops around here. They would definitely buy them. Haha, Rob, we're talking about whipping people built for money, Pete. Well, I don't think that's very nice. We shouldn't whip my customers. And I'm sure you're going to get your own customers that just come in there and sit in there and want to have a coffee or a pop or a snack. I got like 200 pictures on here now. And we do need to talk about customer etiquette, how they treat me, because we did have one of our longtime customers kind of be pretty rude to Michelle this week. There's Michelle. And the next time that customer wants to come back here, he's going to have to talk to me. So, and I know he's going to come back. I just didn't think that was very nice of how he treated Michelle. She was handling business, and he got a little annoyed. And then we told him when he could get on the schedule, and he snarked at her and walked out and drove out of here kind of fast. So some night we'll have a more. They'll be having pops all right. Yeah, we're gonna get root beer, glass bottle pops. I guess if there's some kids there, we'll have to get plastic bottles. Oh, my yard light quit. I just buy the cheap Amazon ones and it quit on me. So I'm just wondering if the little photo cell took a dump because I can see it's kind of lit up inside, but not fully. So I'm gonna have to fix that because I definitely want the yard light to work out here. We have a little yard light on Michelle's end, and then the digital sign lights it up pretty good. Yeah, where's my digital sign? But the digital sign lights it up pretty good, but the yard light really helps keeps everything. That's what customers do when they see Katrina. Oh, some people deserve it and some people don't. Michelle didn't deserve any of that. We run a pretty kosher, nice mom and pop little shop here, and we're nice to everybody. Yeah, this sign keeps, see, that's the yard light right there. That yard light took a dump. We're very friendly to everybody. We're very accommodating. We give people rides. We pick people up. Yeah, we're very accommodating to everybody. Very, very nice. There was no reason for this guy to get snarky at Michelle. But people have bad days. So maybe he was having a bad day. Yeah, it's not often we have customers upset. Yeah, it's a service writer bit. A service writer bite a customer's finger. Oh, service writer bit a customer's finger. That's I don't know. That's probably something you could have a lawsuit over. Like once a year, I'll get a customer that gets mad at me, but I handle that. Michelle's a very nice person, and she don't deserve to take any flack from anybody. I had 2 phone calls had to take care of while he was waiting. Yeah. What are you supposed to do? I can't afford to have anybody else here but me and you. Michelle's driving the motorhome. Yep, we're wondering if we should wait one more month before we take our trip to Florida. So Rob, you'll have to let me know how warm it is down there when you go down there. Like keep a close eye on the temperatures for me and how humid it is. And you're in Pennsylvania, so you're almost straight across from us. So I'm assuming that your weather is very similar to ours. But I'm just afraid that when I go down to Florida, I'm gonna be like sweating, and so maybe we should wait till like October to go down to Florida. We'll have more money to spend if we wait till October. It's going to be 96, so you're a little bit warmer then, because I can pull up the weather on my phone. Maybe my main phone doesn't have a good weather app. It's the phone that I'm using for this live stream that has the best weather app, and I can't get that weather app on my new phone. It just doesn't work that way. So let me pull up the forecast thing on this. Rob says it's going to be 96 on Tuesday. Well, my thing don't go out that far. Let me see more. Yeah, we're in the low 70s. So it's warmer in Pennsylvania. Better off going in September, October. Yeah, I'm just wondering, because we went over to the customer that made us these cookies today, and I'll show them in a minute. But she asked us to come over and visit with her and pick up the cookies. So we did. She just lives down the block. But she was saying the same thing, like we should wait until October. Not in August. We went for our honeymoon in October the one year, 95 plus. Then 2, you'll want like December, February. You think? Leisure says he went in February. It was cold in Daytona. So you went to watch the Daytona 500? What year? Be right back. Kid is calling. Okay, Michelle's taking a phone call. I want to go to the Daytona 500, but if it rains out, then what? I drove all the way down there and it rains out. So that's why we decided to go to the Indy 500 last year, because it wasn't that far away. And it did rain right at the beginning, but then they got going. I don't trust this weather app. Oh, Leisure, you went to Disney World. Okay. We should have went to the Daytona 500 if you were there in February. Had a twofer. This year I think has been a little bit off in my area. It's still doesn't feel like summer. It feels like spring or fall. Of course, yeah, it is, isn't it? Or we still got a couple more days before summer actually starts, right? Oh, I was a kid. Well, go back and go to the Daytona 500. That guy was speeding. So we did talk to the local cops and about the speeding on my road. And they sit out here on the highway a couple more times a day for like a half hour each time. But I did notice that the people must be able to see the cop from a long ways away, or they got radar detectors, because they're on best behavior when the cop's out here. But as soon as the cop leaves, they kick her up at least 15 miles an hour. And then I asked them about the noise ordinance. They don't give tickets for mufflers anymore. Are you kidding me? For bad mufflers? It's a very rare occasion when you can get a ticket. Let me put it back. Very rare occasion when you get a ticket for having a bad muffler is what they told me. Crash car taxi cabs, yeah. I had a hard time after Dale Earnhardt Senior crashed and died. Yeah, that was pretty hard. But Kevin Harvick was racing his car the very next race and won. So I watched Kevin Harvick the rest of that year. And now with the stage racing, because of Jimmy Johnson, they came up with stage racing. That's retarded. So I'm a bigger fan of Indy cars than the NASCAR. Like I don't really have too many people. Carson Hocevar and maybe Kyle Larson. I like them too. Like that Carson Hocevar when he won a couple weeks ago, that was pretty cool. Oh, I do have an update on my SpaceX. Yeah, it went down terrible today. And I was putting money in left and right, and it still went down and down. So I don't know how I'm going to turn out on that one. Should have cashed out the first day I put it in, because I was up like $60 some. Yeah, I'd love any kind of. Yeah, I never raced on asphalt, so I never got into it, but I do watch them on TV. But I love the modifieds, and we were thinking about going out to the track this week, but they're not racing. They're doing tractor pulls, and you can camp out there. Their track cars are in my backyard, basically 20 miles from a big track here. Yeah, we're about 5.5 miles from Deer Creek, and it's a 3/8 mile. We're 20 miles away from Lansing, like 25 miles away from Cresco, maybe a little bit farther. Cassin's like 35 miles. There's a couple other tracks, but I don't know how far they're away. They're pretty close. We're like in a mecca of dirt tracks. I used to race up to 5 nights a week around here. I've been to West Union. That was a big track. I've been there twice on the big track, and I don't know if they race there anymore. The track was too big. You could hold it wide open. The banking was so steep. I ran a 411 gear running wide open. I think we averaged 121 miles an hour. My car was smoking hot. Everything was smoking on it. And I remember worrying about it so much, I switched all the gear lubes to full synthetic because I was just running 80/90 in my transmission and my differential. I switched them all out to full synthetic, and that really helped. They never got hot like they did with the 80/90. So yeah, not too bad of a day. Some ball joints tomorrow, an AC job, and a suspension inspection, which I will probably more than likely fix whatever is wrong. I'll let him know. He always likes me to call him with what's wrong and give me the okay. I've had the motorcycle on Thunderbolt Raceway in Millville, New Jersey, also Pocono track. Good fun. What kind of motorcycle you raced on there? Pocono track, that's a big track. Or do they have like a separate track on the infield? You race motorcycles, Rob? That's interesting. We'll have to see what he says. Yeah, the flies are in here. It's just a fact of life. I don't like the flies. I can get them all killed at the end of the night when the doors are closed, but then as soon as we open the doors, there's more flies that come in. Yeah, I was going to check something here. I'm going to get that fly. Maybe. Well, yeah, I know what we're going to talk. I was at Napa. It was a few months ago. And I seen this. They had this crescent wrench out on one of their other shelves that you walk by when you go up to the counter. And I brought this off the shelf, and he's like, "Oh, you get that off the shelf?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, you can have it." So I have not opened it yet. It's been sitting on my bench. Nah, just took the rockets out to have fun. Well, I don't know. That's pretty cool that they would allow you onto the track. Instructor leads track days. Dad and I took our bikes to have some fun. Kind of check that stuff off the list. Yeah, that would be amazing. I've never been on a big track with anything. I was out in Las Vegas once, and I got to go to the track there on practice, and I was able to go up to the turn. Which one is it? Turn 2 camera stand, and it swings out over onto the track at that time, and that was really fun. And I have some video of that. I should transfer over to digital. One flag gets away and comes back with reinforcements. Well, yeah, that's probably what happens. That flag got him back on the track. Big insurance waivers. You take all responsibility. You wreck your bike. Street insurance doesn't cover it. Yep. It looks like I can just slip this right out of here. Oh, it's not gold. It's chrome. It looked gold in here. I'm going to put it back in there so you guys can see that. I thought it was gold. So deception. It's not gold. Man. It's a Shopworks. 6-inch. It's just a cheapie. That is really kind of cheap. Drop Forge. A 6-inch. Well, Michelle's back. Hopefully that was not an emergency. Street insurance never covers track events. So I wonder if they have like some kind of track insurance you can get. I never looked into it. So when we were racing, the track had insurance on us when we were racing. That's some nicely aged plastic. Yeah, it was on their shelf and they told me I could have it. And it's been sitting in the shop for a couple months now. I thought it was gold. Yeah, you can see in there the sun fade. I'm sure that's sun faded. Yeah, that's definitely sun faded. The yellow. Thanks, Napa. And thanks for sponsoring us in the parade, too. Best advice when buying a used vehicle. Take it to your mechanic and get it checked out. Find a local shop that will check out a used car for you and get a price on their inspection before you do it so you know you don't have to pay too much. No, Michelle, no, just the youngest kid telling me he got a new phone and his new job. Fueling airplanes is working out and he wants to buy a motorcycle. Yeah, I don't know how to say his name. Jahon. So, yeah, ask if you could take it for a test drive and have a mechanic look at it and then take it to a shop and get an inspection done on it. That kid is going to give me a heart attack. Leisure said that celebrated a few birthdays in the store. Yeah, maybe that's why they gave it to me. I like to have crescent wrenches there. I need to get some of the nice USA Craftsman ones. I'm looking for some of those. Jono. Yeah, I'm not sure. Jono. Oh, Jono. Yeah. Most if the car's legitimate and the seller's legitimate, they'll let you get it checked out. I don't have any advice on what kind to get. Like if it's a newer model, most of them are going to need stuff. Try not to get a turbo. Try not to get a CVT transmission. Google search it for known issues. Yep. I have a ton of customers that bring cars to me for an inspection when they're going to buy them. And the one car I worked out for the guy, I got him a couple $1,000s off because it had some problems that we could easily fix. And then he went back. It was a private sale. He went back and told him, and the guy's like, "Oh, that's why that thing was doing that." So the guy gave him a huge break on it because it was going to cost some money to fix. And then my customer ended up buying it, and we ended up fixing it all. We fixed all of it. So that's the best advice I could give you. That's what I tell my customers when they're looking to buy a new car. Take it to a shop. I mean, if you got a friend that's a mechanic, have him look at it. Have him drive it. Oil change records, service records are a good thing. Most people that get their cars serviced will have service records, or at least be able to tell you which shop has the records. Our shop, we had $79 for a review, 1 hour labor years and years ago, but we provided an RO with a full list of details needed. Yeah, we do. I do a digital inspection where I take pictures and then I can send it to you into the text message or email you. It looks like the cop found somebody to pull over. Kind of like they were going kind of fast too. Mexican Spec, hey, how's it going? Here, you got to look at this. The '68 Chevy I got right over there in my shop. We're doing. There's somebody took the steering column apart and it's missing the little turn signal cam, horn cam. So got to get that fixed for the guy. But it's a 1968. I'm gonna have to find some parts somewhere. That's cool, yeah. What else can I show Mexican? He likes. Here's my '79 Monte Carlo. I don't have this car anymore, but it was a Texas car, and then I fixed it up even more. I ended up selling it. I wish I had the car back. That thing was a sweet car when I sold it, and I don't think I got enough money for it. I used to work for this guy in between my businesses because Dad died and I couldn't work out of my garage anymore. So I went to work for this guy for a little bit over a year. And I think the only thing I did on this truck is I rebuilt the carburetor. It was a quad jet, so I rebuilt it, and then he lowered it, put these rims on. I didn't want nothing to do with that stuff. And then that's the original paint. They just buffed it and clear coated it somehow, some kind of coating on it. And then for some reason, the boss wanted them light blue wheels. Here's my deal. I've been daily driving this van. This is my '79 van. Can you check out a newer car in just an hour? Yep. It takes me an hour to do a digital inspection. And then I can email that inspection to you with pictures and the whole checklist. And I usually only take pictures if the part is bad or if I find something bad. Like, I think I could show you guys, but this Firebird is back. We are going to fix that baby up. It's in my lot. That's my Grand Am that I want. I want one of these cars. So we charge it's $90 if you want me to read the codes. If you don't want me to read the codes, it's $80. But I recommend reading the codes in the computer. And I do a lot of inspections. So if it's not a digital inspection, we charge $40. Here's my vet when I was at Walmart, and another vet parked right beside me. He had underglow lights on there, and he wasn't in there. This is late at night, probably 11:30 at night. I parked way out at the end of the night. I come back walking out to my car, and then there's that vet. So I snapped a picture. And then this is a decal I made for my vet. And I sold enough of these decals. You bought them in pairs for $5. You could get 2 of these decals. I made and sold enough of these decals to pay for that Corvette. Oh yeah, I got to show you. So this is what we're going to do. When I find the picture. So yeah, thanks to Buff for the software, because I was having this made my live streams a hell of a lot better. I got like 200 pictures on here, so I'm just trying to find it. I got them all. What's your opinion on a Ruthia versus Iridium spark plugs? Well, you got to put OE spark plugs in. Most of the plugs now are Iridiums for the newer vehicles. I always put OE in, so whatever it calls for, and I get them right from the dealer. Yeah, right here. So I got to make my Chevy van into the A-Team van, and then I'm going to make my race car into the General Lee, and then we're going to pull it to the track, right, Michelle? So my race car looks like, where's my race car? There's my race car. That's Hot Laps at Cresco. Yeah, no, that truck's a 68 Chevy. Yeah, the 79 Monte Carlo. I love that car. Here's one I made into a street stock. Right there. That's a Monte Carlo. And that's me. I won. Is there going to be a chair on top of Michelle Chevy Chase style? Well, we were talking about putting a chair on the top of the motorhome for her. So yeah, I can put it back on. Yeah, so yeah, this is my shop. We could go walk around. I'm mobile. So over here, there's the door to the outside. I got it up on the big screen over there, and we got some sponsors for the parade. We're gonna get 3 more sponsors, and we're gonna take it out, put all them signs on the Ranger and maybe the pickup. And then I got a hoist right here, and that's my oil burner back there. My little prototype lab is back in the corner back there. I don't do much back there. And then here's that 68 Chevy. Another door on this side. Couple toolboxes. Transmission flusher and air conditioning machine, only for 134A. All my power tools, our oil supply stock. And we stocked up on oil because it's going up. My filters. I got oil everywhere. So this is where I do all the oil changes. My oil change station, and then we got more oil back here. All my tools for changing the oil. And Michelle's zip tie holder. My MDI2 with my laptop over here for programming. Here's another scanner here. TPMS tools. I've been keeping some of my oil change stickers. I don't know why I'm doing that. Michelle was like, oh my God. So here's one for today. It was supposed to be in at 36,000. My other scanner, and then my collections of brake cleaner and penetrating oils. Yeah, where's the screw loose? Ultra screw loose. I bought this because it was ultra screw loose. We got bolts and more bolts. So all the sizes. This is standard. This is metric. Turn on the light. There we go. Some fluid samples for people. Here's that brake fluid came out of that minivan. This is transmission fluid that came out of a gal's car. Actually, her car's still sitting out there. Light bulbs, clips, fuses and relays. This is the wash area. I got my condenser and rainwater over here, which it's getting down low. So like whatever comes out of my air conditioner up there drains into there. And then I got a bucket outside. If it rains, I dump it in there. And then this is a pressure tank and a pump. And it filters the water before it gets into the pump. That's why it's got pressure right now. But then we do got a regular garden hose. I got a forklift. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Pretty good. We're doing a live stream right at the very moment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Just not to say anything. I guess they can't hear you anyways. Yeah, just. Sure, we don't get done till like almost 10.
Okay.
Do you need to make an appointment or?
Well, Ashley's got rated so bad, and I ain't bought it like 2 years ago.
Okay.
You gotta take the bumper off, right? To do those?
Or the fender liner, probably.
Well, wondering how big of a job it would be. She's back, of course, this week with Vocational Bible School. She is helping with that.
Okay, it's that little Equinox.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have her swing by. I'll take a look at it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, have a good day.
You too. Good to see ya. Or hear ya.
Yeah, okay.
Bye.
All right, bye. That was one of my customers wanted to know if she could have her daughter stop by and take a look at the headlight. She's in North Dakota, I think, and she's just down here for a few days. So I told her to stop by. Alicia says he's got a lot of screws loose. Oh, thanks, Jono. That's awesome. I'm just trying to get back on the comments here. Okay. Yeah, we try to keep it clean. I just cleaned a little bit. I cleaned a lot today, actually, in Michelle's in our new reception area that we're gonna do. People say oil will get hard to find. Yeah, my supplier told me that the price won't go down until a year and a half. And we all know that it's never going down. And that's awesome, Jono. Thank you. I hope you get good luck and find somebody to help you find a car. Because cars are tough nowadays. Got to be very careful, like on the marketplace. Alicia says he's got a screw loose. Mexis back says, my goal is to have a shop, restore Beetles, and US spec mini trucks. What do you mean mini trucks? So like the foreign little trucks that are legal to drive in the US. We got a couple of people that have those around here. I don't have any screws loose anymore. Yeah, Michelle had to go get hers tightened up. You are prepared for anything. Well, we don't do tires. I lift my forks manually. Yeah. I traded work for that forklift, and I'm so glad I have it. It comes in so handy. Rob says, just push mute next time. We understand. Oh, I just let her know that I was on a live feed. She's a very good customer of mine right from the beginning. And I helped her get a new car, and we did an inspection on it. Actually, and then she didn't buy that one, and then she went to a different place that was farther away, and we did like pictures and video chat and all that. And then calling the dealer and telling them stuff. Yeah. Okay, you could give her a call, Michelle. Well, how loud is that woman in person? No, she's not bad. You could hear us? I probably have my volume turned up. Do you use any lubricants or grease for squeaky ball joints and tie rods? Well, you could try to squirt something in there, but if they're that dry, maybe you should replace them. Yeah, I do have some stuff that you can't buy anymore. I don't think I've ever tried to lube up a ball joint or I just replace them. Pete's phone is loud, yeah. Lots of years turning wrenches, I'm sure. He needs an ear pro but doesn't use it. Yeah, I don't have any headsets or anything. I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't wear a watch. It's just I don't wear any jewelry. I pull my strings out of I'm supposed to pull my strings out of my sweatshirt so I don't get them Usually, this is just, I just stuck, I'm not, this is Michelle's shirt. We got this for her at the shop, but all mine are so dirty, so I slipped this one on, but I pull the strings out. I mean, Courier, a Ford Courier, a Love, Toyota. Yeah, you guys got some of those down there because there's probably not any of them left around here. Maybe down south in the United States there could be some. And Mexican Spec is in Mexico. I'm not going to say where because I don't think he wants me to say. But he lives in Mexico. I want a KEI truck. I might have to look that one up. I'm not, Mexican Spec would know what stuff like that is. I don't. You lubed up the sway bar we put in for a customer we had a few days ago. Yeah, that's because you got to put a little lube on them bushings when they're brand new or they might squeak. Yeah, we put a new sway bar in like a 2000. I'll have to look it up. And we couldn't get none of the parts. Well, we could get the sway bar links and stuff around here, but not the sway bar. What year was that truck? A 2011 Ram 1500. Put a brand new sway bar kit on it from Amazon, and it was nice. But the bushings that hold the sway bar, I put a little Silglide on them just to make sure they don't squeak. Do you ever use fuel injector cleaner, and would you recommend them, or is it a waste of money? No, on the older vehicles for sure I do. I'm not sure on the GDI stuff. You should. They do recommend some, but I use Chevron. I use the Chevron stuff because that's what we used back in the day, and it works really good. I just used some in a guy's older Chevy the other day, GMT 400, and it has the spider injector in it, they call it, and it cleared that thing right up. So I keep some Chevron stuff here on hand. But you and sometimes these shops will upcharge you to do a fuel injection cleaning, but if most of the time they're not going to do it right. Yep, I love that. I like that comment. So Leisure left me a comment. For the Ram, I worked on the 2014 6.7 Cummins. Requires astronomical maintenance. Well, 6.7 Cummins requires astronomical maintenance cost. It's not cheap to fix a big 3500 with the diesel. And his oil doubled per quart. My cost doubled. So let me cancel this out in case I put my screen up again. So you guys don't see anybody's personal information. It's probably reflecting off my glasses. Here's our oil change stickers. My shop's oil change stickers. I had these designed for me, and it's a light tack vinyl from a guy in Canada. And I think we got a couple thousand of them. We still got a little bit left. A BG 44K is a good fuel injection cleaner. Yeah, BG does make some really good stuff. It's a little bit on the higher end of everything, but for the most part, I guess it's good. Don't put no oil cleaners in an old engine though. You got to change the oil filter like every. If you clean out an old gunky engine, you're going to be cleaning the oil. You're going to be changing the oil on it, or it's going to blow up. Like every 100 miles, you have to change oil until it cleans up. I learned that at the shop I worked at with the Chevy, or that old Chevy, the 84 Chevy. Let me put it up because we had BG come in there. So I don't have a picture of a shop or anything, but we used all BG stuff here, and they had an engine cleaner stuff to clean out an engine. Well, unless your engine's clean, that stuff's going to plug your filter because you ain't going to get it all out of there. Yeah, here's the outside of my shop. So this is a couple weeks ago. I took this picture, and we keep it nice and clean out here. All the cars are out of here every day. We like to roll cars in and out, have them picked up every day. We are running on schedule. We're out to the second week in July right now. Here, is it? I got so many pictures on here. So here's the squad car I always work on, and we got 2 of these now. We got 2021 and 2024. So I keep them fully up to par, everything they need, because they go in pursuit. And they're emergency too. So everything they need, I keep them in tip-top shape. Here's the state patrol car I did the other day. He came in for an oil change and said it was overheating. And I found out it was the radiator, and he said, I just had that replaced a year ago. Well, it turns out he had it replaced at the dealer, and there's a junkyard right next to this dealer. They went over to the junkyard and put a junkyard radiator in this thing. No wonder it only lasted a year. And then I upgraded the coolant to the latest stuff, put a brand new OE Mopar radiator in this thing. And he was so happy. And these guys keep a credit card right with them, and they're in charge of their own maintenance to a certain point. Yeah, BG stuff, that's on the higher end. You just got to be careful which services you do. I know if you do, the BG guy stopped in here a couple of weeks ago, and he said they upped their mileage. I can't remember, but if you start with like tranny services and do the BG stuff, they'll warranty your tranny. It used to be 30,000 miles, but now I think he said it's 50 or 60. Pete, the wife, just put my dinner in front of me. It's the wings and barbecue sauce, so I don't want to be able to type anything. That's okay. That's okay, Mexican. I'm just glad to have you here, and I'm gonna catch some more of your live feeds. Those Mexican cars, they're very interesting. And the one we seen that you put up or had Buff put up, is that your Mustang or is that just one you're looking at? With the Capri style Mustang with the IROC wheels on it. I thought that was very, very interesting. For 200 kilometers vehicle, would you suggest transmission oil flush or a drain and fill? Well, that depends. That depends. 200,000 kilometers. I'm going to have to calculate that over to miles. Are you in Canada? I'm going to go kilometers to miles. 124,000 miles. It all depends. Has it had services before? Is the fluid clean or is it black? The vehicles depend on them. Is it a CVT? So I'm very leery about changing transmission fluid at that mileage. Especially if you're suspecting a shifting problem. Let me put it back on me. So if there's no shifting problem and the fluid is not black, it's okay. If you have a shifting problem or the fluid is very black, you're going to be looking at a transmission anyways. It's a Toyota. Is that a CVT? CVTs need their fluid changed every 30,000 miles. A Toyota, if it's not a CVT, you need to use the Toyota fluid. So I'm just a little leery, like in my shop, if somebody brings me a high mileage car and gets their first transmission flush, I'm going to tell them like, hey, if this thing has problems after this, it's not on my end. Yep. So transmission flushes are something you need to keep up on when you buy your car new, or whoever buys their car new. You need to do that. I'm doing the wife's 50 car, dropping the pan, replacing the filter on her Mitsubishi. We'll do it every 50. So yeah, you're keeping up on it. That's okay. You went a little bit longer, but that's okay as long as you keep up on it. Now you break into a vehicle at a higher mileage. Back in the day, we had some Chrysler minivans that come in. We'd do the service on them. They wouldn't move afterwards. It's a 6-speed automatic transmission, 2010. So yeah, if that probably takes like a Toyota WS fluid, you're going to want to use that. You're going to want to, and those ones you do, when you do it, I think you do like 2 or 3 drain and refills, and you got to change the filters on them too. I think there's 2 filters. one in the pan and one on the side. And that's perfectly fine to do drain in refills. But I think you do like 2 or 3 in a row at the same time, because you can only get like 3 or 4 quarts out. Maybe more the first time because you pulled the pan off. I just did one, I don't know, a couple months ago. So yeah, kind of missing Benny, and he's got me this root beer, and he got us a couple of these the time before. So Spring Grove, Minnesota on this one, and then this one's in Wisconsin. What did we say it was, Rob? Glendale, Wisconsin. And Rob was just at the bar where they or the brewery where they make this. So that's very interesting. Yeah, it's good to keep up on your services. A lot of times, like on differential services, if the fluid looks clean, I might leave them. A transfer case service, no, always do that one because that's cheap. For all my customers that have new vehicles that come here, I tell them what their services are and when they need them. And then I leave it up to them whether they want to do it or not. And then most of the time they follow the services. And the people that do that don't have any trouble with their cars. They're always, they don't break down. But the people that don't do these services, yeah, they have seals leaking. They tend to break down more often. Like tune-ups are a big one too. Cabin air filters, you want to always check those. The belts. Coolant is a big thing on Chrysler vehicles, and you want to change that coolant at the recommended service. I guess Chrysler, the coolant they put in Chrysler's from the factory is not good. Like a brand new Chrysler, if you test the coolant with a strip, it's going to test bad. Because I argued with the BG guy about it. I'm like, this is a brand new car. The coolant can't be bad. And he had documentation on his phone that he showed me that said that this coolant absolutely was bad. I still wonder, but I'm in contact with some of these people, and my reps stop in once a week, so we talk about it all the time. But yeah, if you're not having a transmission problem and the fluid is not totally black, you should be okay. And then that is something you can do as a do-it-yourselfer. There's some videos out there. Watch them videos. You might have to watch two or three videos on it to put it all together, but you can do it. What else can I show you guys? Yeah, here's a cabin air filter. This filter's got 146,000 miles on it, and it's the OE filter. They never changed it, but they came in for an actuator. So the one side was always stuck on hot. So I put them in a new actuator, and that's another thing. Don't put in an aftermarket actuator. Here's the actuator right here. Always put in an OE actuator, or else it's going to fail. So that's something. Yeah, Daisy. So here's our dog, Daisy, and she's standing underneath our signs. We're going to have a parade, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. And we're going to be in the parade. And we're asking all our suppliers to donate candy and water. So we got these 3 already. Let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to put them on. We were going to put them on the Ranger, but we're going to have 3 more sponsors. So we're probably going to put all the signs on my pickup, and then we'll carry all the water and the candy in the Ranger and throw it out of the Ranger, or just distribute the candy and the water from the Ranger. And we are supposed to have a walker that distributes the candy, or it's recommended. A doorman, stranding motorists, and frustrated mechanics since 1918. Yeah, don't put any Dorman electronic parts on. They will fail. I learned my lesson. Although I'm very upset because Dorman bought Cloy's. So like Cloy's Time Machine that used to be made in the USA is probably not going to be made in the USA anymore. It's probably going to turn into Dorman Reliability, which ain't good. I hope they don't watch this. I don't want to say anything bad about anybody. Dorman does have some good parts. I put on some oil pans. They make a fix-it bolt for the Time Machine on the Ecotex that I use. I just put in a window regulator the other day because Dorman is the only one I could get, other than waiting a week for the dealer. And she needed her window working, so we put a Dorman one in there. That's what Napa, Auto Value, AutoZone, all my suppliers, that's all they had was a Dorman one. Yeah, they're off my 97 Grand Am GT. And then I bought the adapters to put them onto a Ranger, which is a very big 4-bolt pattern. And I paid $100 a piece for the adapters. But yeah, just this car, the rear axle, I don't know what you call it. It's not an axle, but the rear because it's front wheel drive. So the rear swing arm, which is a solid swing arm, one of the mounts broke off on the driver's side because of rust. So I wasn't going to fix the car, although it was a nice car. I have a picture of the car. But anyways, I just saved the wheels because I put brand new tires on it. Yeah, it's under one of my vet pictures. You had anyone who accidentally put diesel into a gasoline engine? Well, we did when I worked at the other shop. And they were at the gas station and they realized it. So we towed it back and drained it all out and cleaned everything up, and that one was fine. But then the dealer, we were right next to a Chevy dealer, and they had one come in that they ran, and it caused $75,000 of damage on a newer Chevy Duramax. So I'm just trying to find a picture of that Grand Am. It's in here. Where are the pictures of my Corvette? Firebird and Grand Am? No, it's not. That's the Grand Am before I had the 97. That's the Corvette. That's in my house shop. There's my 79 van. I know I'm getting closer. Grand Am Vet. There's the Vet. That's the car that the wheels came off of. I miss that car. That car was a nice car, actually. It had a 3.1 in it, and it blew up. Because I bought it used. So I worked at a shop, and we had a burned up 1999 Grand Am with a 3400. So I got that engine and put it into this car. That it started on fire so bad that the top of the intake plenum was melted. But I had to switch all that stuff out anyways. So I just retorqued all the head bolts, which I think only 1 or 2 of them moved. And I didn't torque to yield them. I torqued them at 70 foot-pounds. But that engine was still good. Nothing ever went bad on that engine. The timing cover gaskets eventually went out. Yeah, I don't like CVT transmission, constant velocity transmissions. I don't like them. Mexican Spec remembers those Grand Ams new on the lot. Yeah. Here, I'll show you at a car lot that I worked at. So it's not in this picture. No, it's not this one. Yeah, there's my race car hauling truck. And we kind of did a on-frame restoration on this thing, but I did all the mechanical, made the headlight covers, and we pulled my race car to the track with this truck. 1998, the picture says. Here's what my race car looked like when I bought it. When I brought it home the first day. But I have some pictures. Yeah, here. So this is at a car lot. This is not the 79 Monte Carlo that was from Texas. This is a different one. This is my first race car. But I worked at a car lot, and there's like a 91 Grand Am. There's a Chevy S10 Blazer. Chevy Beretta. I thought there was more pictures. Oh, this one. So let me move this one out of the way. Slide this one over. Nope, this is inside the shop. Same car, but inside that shop. Those are the signs right there, my AC Delco signs that I got on my shop now. The Chevy dealer gave those to me. The owner, or a good friend of the owner that worked there. Gosh, he was the manager of Clements. Yeah, I had a blue one of those too, a 91. And I put a turbo on it. Where is that one? Let me find my 91 Grand Am with the quad 4. That's why I want a quad 4 because I want to put the car in races. Well, there's no more of those cars left in this area. Quad 4 turbo right here. So let me make this picture smaller. Bring this picture over. There's the 91. I put a turbo on it. This car was fun. It wasn't tuned for it though. I had to put another additional fuel injector on it. Oh, that's a turbo like off a 2.2 Chrysler, and I still have all the parts to make this. I have some W41 cams, some high output cams. I think I got all the parts. So maybe we should just find a little car and put that engine in there. I'm not going to use turbo though, because this turbo was, the turbo off them Chryslers was problematic as far as the blowing the seal out, and it would smoke. I don't think that we didn't blow no head gaskets or nothing out of this one. But it was fun to drive and fun to cruise around in. And she would spool up and it was so loud. And this one, I don't know. I have another picture of this, but it's not on here. I'll have to add it. But it was, I don't know, it was blue. I don't know if dark blue, maybe that's a dark blue, I don't know. I can't remember what happened to this car, if I sold it or what. I love these style Grand Ams, and Leisure knows what body these have. He always has to remind me. I should write that down the next time he reminds me what body these are. Yeah, the lawnmower we use for grading the driveway. Where's my other lawnmower? Mexican Spec might get a kick out of this one. I'm going to show you a picture of my actual lawnmower that I use. Right here. There's my actual lawnmower and body. I'm writing that down, Leisure. I don't know, the car that just went by must have had a stuck brake caliper because I could smell brakes. Oh yeah, I was going to show you Daisy. Or was I going to show Daisy? I don't know what I was going to show next. And that's my lawnmower. I bought it for $50 with a bad engine. It was a single cylinder Briggs & Stratton. And then I put the opposing cylinder 18 horsepower industrial commercial engine on there because I found one on the marketplace for $50. So I got like $100 in there. No, I had to buy a throttle cable and a muffler, a little bit more. Here's the starting units I used to build. Build these. They come. I get a load of steel from the steel factory or the McNeilus. 20 to 25 foot lengths of steel, and I would make this whole thing. We did get the sheet metal cut out at with a laser cutter from another shop, and then they powder coated it too. But actually this frame could be powder coated. We started powder coating the frames, but I would assemble all this, and it's got 4 like semi starter solenoids in there, 4 Group 31 batteries, and that's a twin cylinder Honda. Yeah, I know they were good cars for cheap, and they weren't too bad. So I never modified my cars. The 91 Grand Am was used to drive from Las Vegas to Los Angeles over and over again. So did it have a quad 4 or did it have the 2.5? I'm gonna go back to my So I was just wondering, did it have the quad 4? What brand of vehicles do you highly recommend? What vehicles would you avoid buying nowadays? Well, I just don't want to get myself in trouble, but I would probably go with a Toyota or a Honda. Probably a Honda. No quad 4, that's why. No, quad 4, that's why it kept running. I love the quad 4. So on the silver one, I had the 89. That had a bad head gasket, and I bought it off the car lot that I worked at. But I put the head gasket in there, and when I was putting the timing chain back on, the tensioner flew apart, and there's a little plastic piece in there that I lost. I could never find it. So I had to pull up some pictures on the internet or in a service manual of what that plastic piece looked like. Well, I made my own little plastic piece, and I put it in there, but it didn't have a little hole in it. So, or a metal piece. I put a piece of plastic in mine. So what I did, then I put it all back together, and I test drove that car, and it had a power band from hell. Like it would spin the tires off the start, and then once the power band kicked in, it would start spinning them again. Very, very fast. And I could never figure out why, but eventually I did. So the little piece on the timing chain tensioner that I put in there put extra tension on the timing chain, and it changed the timing ever so slightly to give the car a power band and make it have power. But then I learned about these engines, and I learned you could get different cams for them, W41 cams. And it took me a long time, but I found some. Well, this might be high output. Here's the old coil cover. Right there. It's hanging on my wall. Oh, here comes Joe. I got Joe on video, on the live stream. That's a rat rod. Yeah, when they were running, a lot of people couldn't figure out where the spark plugs and the coils were. And the coils failed and the injectors failed all the time. And the head gasket. But I just loved that engine, and it was easy to work on, and I could make them work. That's an awesome rat rod. I'm just gonna check I think my because I watched this too. Yeah, this feed is staying up, but the one on my TV is not. So I'm gonna shut the TV one off because it's lagging behind, and it's taking bandwidth, and we've been having internet trouble, and I'm using Michelle has a home internet box from Metro that we were using, but then we're having troubles with it. I ended up breaking it, but she got it fixed now. But in the meantime, when I broke it, I dropped it off to my desk at home in the office. But anyways, I broke it. I had to go the next morning to Walmart and get one because I need internet. I have to have internet. So I got the Straight Talk one, and that's what I'm using now. And we can put it up. I'll put it up on my computer screen. Let me put back on the cam so I don't show something I'm not supposed to. I'm going to put it up on the computer screen. I'm going to put the test on here. But this is Straight Talk home internet. All right, let me put it on the computer screen. We're going to go. Let's do a test. Let's run the test. So this is a Straight Talk home internet. It's not too bad. And I'm using the bandwidth right now. Like normally I could get like 60 to 70 something download, and 17 upload is normally where it runs. What else can I put you on? Let's find Mexican Spec and put him up here. So Mexican Spec does some live feeds and videos. So you guys should all check out his channel, and then he will tell you if you ask him when his next live feeds are coming on. Let's look at his live feeds. So Mexican Specs like showing us the cars that are in Mexico. And I have to tell you, they're very interesting. They're different than the cars we have here in the United States. I'm just grabbing a beer. So I'm not going to play any of your videos because the last time I played somebody's video on here, I got copyrighted. I probably won't get copyrighted if I play one of yours, but we had this other guy from Louisiana. He's a race car driver, and he was doing short videos. And on short videos, you can play music. You don't get copyright on those. But I played one of his short videos on here, and I got copyrighted. I had to delete or mute the volume, and YouTube did that for me. So when I first started my YouTube channel, I wasn't monetized, and my intro music, I had copyrights violations on all of them. I finally got it all fixed. All my videos can be monetized. But it took me a long time to get it all fixed. And I had the rights to use the intro music. Just I didn't do it right. Yeah, there's that car I'm talking about. Fox Body Capri Notchback. I thought you said it was a Mustang. Yeah, I haven't put nothing on my community page. Looks like you got some stuff there. I know where I can put it on. Let's go back here. Now I can see my comments as I'm lacking on them. That's an awesome rat rod. So are you proving my comment correct? Well, I think so. Truck sounds like me after Taco Bell. Uh-oh, I don't want to be around you at that time. I'm live on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific and 8:15 p.m. on Sundays. That's Mexican Spec. I just had his channel up there. Also Pacific time, yep. Yeah, that's because the video had music. I don't know why. I'm just going to be more careful yet. Oh, Mexican Spec says you have to be careful. In our last members only video, there was an interlude, and my wife put copyrighted music in there when there wasn't anything there. It's a Mustang, but in Mexico, it's a Mustang in Mexico, but to get more click, I put Capri Notchback, which is a car that never existed in the US. I know one of my friends had a Capri. It was a hatchback, though, I think. Maybe that's what they all are, the Capris. It was a 79, and it was white. It had the same like hood and front end that yours does. Yeah, I'm just about ready to go back onto the main camera. I'm just having a cigarette. Just in case some kids are watching or something. I don't want any kids to see it. I guess it doesn't matter, does it? I got it set for no kids or whatever. Okay, I could go back. So yeah, I'm using a Droid Cam, but it puts a little watermark up there, but I'm not going to pay to take that off. The Capri came in normal hatchback and the bubble back. A company made two-seater roadsters out of a couple of them. My old boss had a 79 Caprice. I think he means Capri with a 4-cylinder. Yeah. The one that my buddy had, I don't know if it came with a 4-cylinder and we put a 302 in it, or if it did come with the 302. I think it came with the 302, but when we were kids, we swapped engines all the time. So like Mexican Spec says he left them alone, but I didn't. We were swapping engines and transmissions and all kinds of stuff. I'll show you a picture of me when I was a kid. And this is in a 61 International Puck truck that I eventually turned into like a rat rod, but I don't have it anymore. I wish I did. It would be worth some money. And I have my pictures pretty organized, just that I have a lot of them. I must have moved it more up towards the top. There it is. So there's a picture of me and my buddy in a 61 Internet. This is before I had my license. I bought all this oil for a penny a quart, 30 quarts. But it's SA30. Corn binder, yep. It had a 304 in it, and I took that out, put a 392 in it, with a 727 automatic trans that fit on the binder engine. Because I bought it in a 70, like a 78 Travelall. And then I made that, it was a C110 truck that was 2-wheel drive. I made it 4-wheel drive. And that thing was badass too, because we could we would start in low 4-wheel drive, shift all at 3 gears. So we'd shift all 3 gears. The passenger would pop that transfer case back to high as I was in neutral on the automatic. And then I would go back to 2nd gear and go 2nd and 3rd. So we had 5 gears when we raced, and we only lost the first race because we didn't know how to drive it. But after that, after we learned how to pop that transfer case back to, and we took the front dry shaft off, so we were really only running in 2-wheel drive. But that thing could haul the mail. And I don't know what gear ratio it had. It's just so long ago, and I was a kid, and I probably didn't even care. And we painted it up, painted flames on it. The name of the truck was called Dragonfire. We named it Dragonfire. Yeah, if I had some of the old Novas and Camaros that I had when I was younger, I wouldn't have to work right now. But God had a different plan for me, and that was to fix people's cars, and that's what I do. All Mustangs from 64.5 to 84, when they stopped making them here, had V8s under the hood. There was never a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder sold in Mexico. Why was that? Is it because there was no EPA and the gas was cheaper? Probably. I'm just guessing. And I decided to crack open up Busch Light. Not one out of my collection, though. Oh, we were kids. And my buddy wanted to make a business out of painting flames on people's cars. So he was practicing on my pickup, which it turned out good. I have a picture of it somewhere. I just haven't ran across that picture yet. And then we even had it so we could run, we flipped the manifolds upside down on an International engine. You can just turn them upside down and they dump right in the center anyways, like center dumps. And we ran stacks out through the hood. And then I bought some turbo mufflers because then it was too loud. And we just slapped them turbo mufflers right over the pipes I had sticking out of the hood. And it was cool. We drove it down Broadway like that all the time. Yeah, it was a fad. Michelle's right. I was wondering if Michelle was still even here. Ford had V8 engines to use also. When Mexico banned V8 engines in their passenger cars for the 1985 model year, Ford decided to stop making the Mustang in a place of using a smaller engine. Yeah, it's all about the EPA in the United States. That's why we got to have 020 oils, and Chevy. The new Chevys just don't last, and they leak. And now, if you got a Honda a Honda that uses 020, that's fine. And they even got some like 010 weights now, which I think is ridiculous. And it's all for fuel mileage, so they say. Yeah, you just shake your head when I see them. Yeah, here's some brake cleaner that we got from O'Reilly's the other day, celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States. I thought that was pretty cool. I grabbed 2 cans and I'm not going to use them. My youngest kid has a 2006 Infiniti G35 and it's tuned and it does pops and bangs, 2-step, and the flames out the tailpipe. But yeah, we got a video of that. We should put that up onto the live feed some night. I disagree with what that kid did to that car, but he thinks it's cool. Chevrolet did the same thing on the Monte Carlo. 1984 Monte Carlo SS had a 354-speed manual, power locks, and very cushy seats. They went out with a bang. A 1984 Monte Carlo had a 4-speed manual. That's something you probably couldn't get here. That can't be good for the life of the engine. That's what I was just trying to get at. Kids today are a different breed of human. Yeah, I agree with that one. I had some kids that come in here and help me in the shop, and I'll give them a list of stuff to do, but they'll only do 1 or 2 things, and then they'll be on their phone, or their cell phone, on social media. When I was a kid, we didn't have that. I mean, I have it now, but I'm not on social media. I guess this is my social media, is is YouTube, but the only difference is I do this for the benefit of my customers, the benefit of my viewers, and I do get to make a little bit of money. And it's worldwide. Just ask Mexican Spec. I mean, if somebody wants to watch you from the different part of the world, I think they can. Some countries, I guess, limit it on what you can watch. Nope, manuals in the Monte Carlos, the 80s. The Mexican Monte Carlo SS was faster than the 1984 Corvette, and that was not allowed in the United States. Yeah, I know Mexican Spec that you know a lot about cars, way more than I do. 100 times more than me. That's weird. A Monte Carlo with a manual in a metric. He's always having problems with the engine. He quit asking us about what might be wrong with his car. I told him want to tie it to the Jeep and drag it down to the river. Yeah, well, when he was here in this part of the country, he couldn't wait. Sometimes he would ask to get off. He would help me a little bit. Sometimes he would ask to get off early, like at 2:00 in the afternoon, and he wanted to bring his car in and start working on it. And I'm like, no. I mean, sometimes I'd let him if the bay was open and I wasn't planning on for anything. But every day, the weekends, Sundays, he wanted to be in the shop working on that Infiniti. Did you know the Mexican 1974 Ford Mustang II had a V8 under the hood? In the U.S., it wouldn't fit because of the smog equipment, which was not used here in Mexico. Yeah, it's the EPA. I did not know that. Will I remember? Probably not, but that's some good information right there. Some kids want to have that. I guess the Infinitis, they are somewhat fast. We have a kid that has a BMW, and he's having transmission issues now. He moved back to New Mexico, so he's not around to beg for help on that car anymore. Timmy, you made it. Hey, Timmy, I got copyrighted playing that I Can't Drive 55 video. Yeah, I think I told you on Tuesday. How you doing, Timmy? You got the race car ready to go? The gas crisis never hit Mexico. Yeah, Timmy is from Louisiana, and he races race cars. Let me put Timmy up onto the screen. He likes it when I put him up here. I'm gonna find Timmy. So he just joined us a few live feeds ago. Pretty nice guy. I'm not going to play your videos with audio though, Timmy, if I play one. So let me put Timmy up here. Timmy does everything. Dirt track racer from Louisiana. Where's it? Is my internet just not working? Okay, now I'm on shorts, and Timmy likes us to play this one video, and he's going to get a 383 for a hobby stock. Ain't that right, Timmy? Long time racer right here. But I'm not going to put the volume on. Seems like I might be having some internet issues. Why is it not playing? Why is it just a black screen? Rob, internet. I'm just going to refresh it. It's loading up now. Oh, Buff is having a live feed. We better yeah, so the announcer announces some stuff about Timmy and his dad, I think, on this one. But Timmy posts some short videos and seems like a hell of a nice guy. Let me go back to the back to my stream and so I can see the comments. You got it ready, Timmy? I'm gonna put a race car up here. Where did it go? I think I put it right over the wrong picture. Oh, well, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I want this picture up here. I'll make it a little bit smaller. All right, let me get caught up on the comments. I'm doing pretty good, Timmy. How's the weather down there? A kid with a BMW, what is coming to the world? He must be like yellow glow on the dash. Yeah, he's probably gonna be a big businessman someday. He must like sunburned knuckles. Timmy said, "You the boss, everything." I bought him the Impala Police Interceptor for $750 for his first car, and we still drove it. He didn't like it anymore because the dog chewed up the interior, so he begged me to co-sign for the Infiniti. Yeah, well, we got the Impala now. I think we do got to fix the strut on it and the engine mount and the sway bar links. I don't mind driving that car. The Impala is a 2009, is it? The new short video. Okay, I'll go back to it in a minute. The Infiniti was $2,000, paid it off, but it's favorite car. Yeah, yes, Buff is on with his buddy. Yeah, hopefully he's on for a while because I like to catch up with Buff's live streams, whatever, feed streams. Haha, yes, leisure. Hey, Pete. Okay. The weather is okay. All right, let's go back. Timmy wants us to play his new short video. I'm not going to turn the volume on though, because I just want to be careful. So I'll go back. I'm assuming it's this one. I already liked it. And then we're going to catch up with Buff Del Campo for a minute. Let's see what Buff is doing here. We got to add. I think Mexican Spec is doing 2 live streams. How many commercials do we have? Maybe I forgot to hit skip. Oh, there's Buff. I don't know who his buddy is. I type him a comment. Can't forget to like it. Airplanes. Buff was an airplane aviation technician back in his day. Let's see, did he just start this? 13 minutes ago. All right, let's get back. Yeah, so Buff just started his live feed 13 minutes ago. Mr. Green. Hey, Mr. Green. What would be cool to have a dirt track like that around me? No luck. Yeah, I got like four tracks within like a 50-mile radius. So how is it going, Mr. Green? Let me just check. Mr. Green is in California. California. Hope the gas is going down for you guys out there. It's going down a little bit for us. Probably missed a bunch of. How many years of mechanic experience do I have? Like 35 years. I'm used to working on some of the older cars. The newer cars are a little bit more difficult for me, but I'm learning them. I'm just trying to catch up and see which comments. Okay, there's where I left off. Yep, around 35 years, maybe a little bit more. Buff is on with one of his friends. Yeah, I have ads. I had turned on my ads. This is the first time I turned them on, and I turned them on minimum. If they bother you, I'm going to turn them off because normally I don't have them on. It's getting confusing. Yeah. No, I understand. And I like Buff. And yours was very interesting for me too. I'm just not you. I like to see. I think you should put Mexican. I think you should put yourself on the screen more. And the other night when we were in Buffs, I think Kim might have said that she's seen your wife. I think I seen what she looks like too in one of them. Maybe I was watching some of your videos. His friend is named Ray in his garage. Yeah, so our closest track to us is 5 miles away. Like it's like 5.5 miles. And you can camp out there. And this weekend they're not having racing, I don't think. On Saturday they're having a tractor pull. So might go see if the entry fee isn't too much, might go check that out. We have 3 asphalt. So Leisure has 3 asphalt tracks in his state. And Leisure likes the asphalt modifieds. They tell me the Altamont Speedway was dirt a long time ago. It's been closed for a long time. I hate it when they close tracks. The fairground tracks we used to race at only race during fair time now, but we used to be able to race at those tracks. There's 3 of them. Used to be able to race at the county fairs weekly. That's when I was racing like 5 nights a week, and that was tough. Real tough. That's when you got to have a lot of spare parts. But we made it. We did like 5 nights a week for a whole year. A long nights working in the shop, straightening middle, tires, grooving tires, and changing engines, transmissions. I'm glad I don't race anymore. I miss it. I miss it a lot. And I got to be pretty good at it. Or, I mean, decent. I got to be decent, not good. And I miss it, but I'm saving a lot of time and money. Now, like big racers, they have sponsors that take care of it for them, and they have good pit crews that get paid. And so yeah, so Mr. Green, we are going to be in the parade this year. Let me show you. And we are asking all our parts suppliers to donate candy for the kids and water for the other people. So we so far have gotten Auto Value, Napa, and AutoZone. and a semi's going by off his Jake brake. But we're gonna put these signs on the. We're probably gonna we're gonna get 3 more sponsors. We have 3 more that are gonna come on board. I know they are. And then we're gonna probably put all the signs on my pickup and then have the Ranger trail behind or in front with the water and candy for the kids. So it's gonna be a big thing for us. The first time we're gonna be in the parade. They've asked me for the last 2 years, and I just didn't have a vehicle. I didn't really have a vehicle either, but we're gonna use the Ranger, and we're gonna go into the parade, and we're gonna make a big show. We're gonna be the big show. Timmy says, I'm going to take my time, put the motor in the race car, but right now I'm racing the 72 car. Oh yeah, Timmy wanted me to put them back on. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. Oh no, I did that. No, I did. Yeah, Timmy's building a 383, and he's going to race, what is it, Timmy, hobby stock? No, our parade is in June 27th. It's our city celebration, or our small little town, which they call themselves a city. And we have it every year, and it usually rains, and the parade is at 2 o'clock on Saturday, the 27th. And we're going to try to get some video, because this is the first time we're going to be in there. We know everybody in this town, or at least I do. Michelle's getting to know everybody in this town. Yeah, hobby stock. Back in my day, we called them IMCA hobby stocks. That was our class, or our sanctioning body was IMCA. I think now they have some USRA sanctioned hobby stocks. And then Benny brought me over this root beer, the 32 or the 16 ounce, or the big bottle, and then he did bring me the Spring Grove one, but he just brought this one like 2 days ago, and he left it outside. He didn't stop in. So that's the kind of thing we started all the live streams with. This root beer, I'll drink a root beer. Super stock, yeah, we had super stocks, but there were soda super stocks. We had super stocks, modifieds, street stocks, pure stocks, late models, all with soda. And then we ran Hoosier tires. And then the IMCA was American Racers, or Mercury's. So yeah, that's what we use now is Mercury. They're like a street tread tire. They're a bias ply. They're like 10 inches wide, G60. That's what size they are. So any older guys out there like me know what a G60 is. And I think we used to use some L60s too when we really thought we were bad to the bone. Here you go, Mr. Green. I'm working on this truck right now. Yeah, we're doing some work on the steering column with the horn turn signal cam. It's missing. There's not one in there, and that's all I got to fix on it. It's done. I already fixed it was I don't know how long ago it was, months ago. I took the oil pan off it and put a new gasket in it, resealed it. It's completely dry right now. Just looked at it. And we figured out it's got a 283. A 283, Timmy. This truck has got a 283. So that's a 3-inch stroke. And it's a large sternal. I did figure that one out too. I don't know how I did, but it's a large sternal. 283. So yeah, it's right there. Well, that kind of makes the light and If you remember right, the mini stop, what's the dwarf class, and now they call them legends. Yep. Do they run the little like motorcycle engines? We had some cars, I can't remember what they called, but they ran motorcycle engines and big ones like 1000cc and bigger. And they were dangerous and they were very fast. One of my friends broke his collarbone. He flipped over. Leisure says back in the day, Goodyear was the tire choice. Some ran M&H. Then Hoosier became the only choice. Yeah, I think like tire manufacturers try to pick their classes and sanctioning bodies. Yeah. Yeah, they had the motorcycle engine and to get in them to get out of the car, you had to climb through the top. Yep. Yeah, we used to run them, but they got to be too dangerous, and they got rid of that. A guy got killed at our track here in one of those cars, and my buddy broke his collarbone. But they got to be too dangerous, so they don't run those here anymore. Pretty sure a guy got killed. I could be wrong on that. I think one or two people have gotten killed at our racetrack by accidents. So yeah, me and Michelle are very excited to get this into the parade, and so far all the suppliers that have come on board, they're so happy, and they're like, yeah, we want to do this. I think the light is a little bit reflecting. Waterford Speed Bowl still runs Legends. Yeah, so for some reason the light is so in my camera. There we go. That's a little bit better. It looks like the internet's holding up. What else can I show you? Here's my Busch Light collection of cans. Been collecting since like 2006. According to the cans, this is the first time I've ever had them all out in one place. I just thought it was cool. The O'Reilly's brake cleaner I got the other day, that's a commemorative can for our 250th birthday this year. I'm going to save those cans. We called the place Toilet Bowl. So was that an asphalt track then? All right, I'm back. I just had to go to the bathroom, and I made sure to take my microphone off. 3/8 mile asphalt track with 10 degrees of banking. I've never raced on an asphalt track. It kind of makes me excited. Like I want to race on an asphalt track. But you know, I watch some of them asphalt racers, and they can slide them cars sideways just like they do on the dirt. And we know Kyle Larson can for sure. I gotta have something else I could share on here. Oh yeah, my house shop. So here I was in 2021 when I decided to go into business. Jono, my favorite sports car, I want to get, I got two of them I want to get. The first one I've always wanted was like a 2005 Corvette, Z07 automatic. But now I want the 2019 Corvette ZR1, and they're very expensive, but they're pretty fast. And then I want the Ford Sleeper, a new Ford truck with the Coyote engine supercharged right from the dealer, and there's warranty on it and everything, and they're cheaper than the Corvette. Other than that, I had Camaros and Novas. I love those. I had an SS Nova. The right rear tire burns up quick. Yeah, we could burn up the right rear tire on the modified too, on dirt, especially a Hoosier. We had to start the air really low because they'll gain a lot of air. I imagine that's amplified when you race on asphalt. But I would love to try it. Timmy does everything, says the Legend car dirt track class features 5/8 scale tubular chassis race cars powered by motorcycle engines. So is that like square tubing you're talking about? I just wonder if that would be, I think he just means tube. Yeah, that's not nobody would build a race car roll cage with square tubing. Tubular, he means round. Chrome Molly. Oh, it is square tubing? Or it's round tubing? Yeah, so this is my shop when I started back in 2021, and there's another picture. It's underneath this picture. There's the Grand Am again. Yeah, I think Mexican Spec went over to he helps out Buff a lot. Left rear 10 psi, left front 8 psi, right side tires 12 psi cold. They gain 3 to 5 psi. Oh yeah, it's round tubing. Nobody would make a roll cage out of square tubing. Sorry about that, Timmy. So yeah, I would run 10 to 12 in all the tires. I think we ran 8 in the right rear starting out, and then 3 to 5 psi in the left rear, if I remember right. Even with the Mercurys, we'd do that. So one time I was racing at a USMTS race, and my brother, let me put it over here. So my brother was videotaping it, and it's hard to tell on the videotaping when you're taping with a camcorder, and it was a camcorder back in those days. He's like, Pete, I hate to tell you this, but your car was smoking. And I'm like, what do you mean it was smoking? He's like, your engine's going to go. I'm like, okay. So I watched the video, and it wasn't the engine. It was the back tires. They were smoking. And I'm like, man, how can that be? Because I was only on the gas like that far. I was just barely pressing it. And I knew I was spinning, but not as much as I normally might spin on a wet track. Stagger, yeah. Well, I was always a big one on stagger. And Hoosiers, you get a lot of, I get the most stagger I could get. But when we went to the IMCA tires, the Mercurys, American Racers, you could not get much stagger with those tires. I think you could get like an inch. And then it was only, you would have to measure every tire by yourself because they would not tell you. Like when you went to buy new tires, they're all supposed to be the same, but you could get a variation of about an inch if you measured them yourself. But it was just hard. Over the tires I bought, I learned which ones were a little bit short, a little bit smaller, and a little bit bigger, and then we'd stagger them out. But for the left front tire, we didn't care what was on there. I even ran some tires that were pretty old because that tire did nothing. Most of the time, it wasn't even on the ground. I remember racing 7 laps with where the tie rod hooks onto the spindle. It was broke off, and I didn't even know it. We changed gears from heat to feature. We had a 9-inch, and we'd change the gears from heat to feature every night. I tell you, the tire that run on the dirt track NASCAR pulls off, I always put 10 in the front. Both sides to back, I put 25 on both sides. One track went to American Racer. Some guys were getting 3 weeks out of them on modifieds. Yeah, I would wear mine out, and I could get more than 3 weeks out of them. And I remember coming back to the first race of the next year with last year's old tires on them that should have been replaced, and I won against one of the big guys. And it was kind of a rough track, and I kind of flew over the front of his car when I passed him. Never touched him. But then I got ahead of him, and I was pulling away, and the caution comes out. I got this on video. I have to find this video. I think my brother has the tape. Then he jumps me on the start, and he comes and he flies right over the top of my car, but he loses control, and I pass him back, and then I lead the rest of the race and win it. But then when we went to the pit meeting, not the pit meeting, we went to pick up our checks at the end, and they would have all the drivers would go in there and have a couple beers. And he is talking about how he has brand new tires and they were no good. And I just happened to walk in when he was saying that. The guy I beat for the win, big time racer. I could beat him at this track, but not the other tracks. And I just like, yeah, my tires are worn out from last year. And he's like, whatever, dude. He wasn't very happy. Yeah, we had some fun times. And I went off the track more times than anybody, but I've never rolled. I've crashed her up a few times. I've hit the wall, and I learned right away in the modified. The street stocks and pure stocks, they're not so bad. You do have to watch in front of you, but in the modified, if somebody just burps the gas and they're three or four car lengths in front of you, you fly by them like they're sitting still. It's your reaction time has to be on it. You have to be on it. Sometimes you get bad tires, I don't know if I ever got any bad ones, but probably didn't know it. A lot of times my pit crew guys would scour the track afterwards because the good guys would get rid of their one night tires. So a lot of my tires were used tires from other drivers. Back in those days, I had to spend my money on fixing my engines. But there was a story. Timmy says, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, but I know this is illegal, but the tech man don't know until they check me going to try to run 2 pound of vacuum. So you're going to run a bigger cam? I did. I found out I put a bigger cam in my street stock, and it didn't help me any. I actually put like an RV cam back in it, and that gives me the pulling power. Maybe it was the pure stock. So when I ran pure stock, I put a bigger cam in there, and if you don't have a higher compression and good bigger valves and all that stuff, it really doesn't help you. No, I was just thinking of a story I could tell you guys, but I forgot. You guys are getting me on the racing. Oh, yeah, I had a hell of a pit crew. Anytime I had a flat tire, I always made it back out. We'd have to start in the back. We wouldn't be a lap down or nothing. I remember one race, 3 flat tires in one feature, and I still finished the race in the top 10. Starting from the back every time. That was a hell of a night. And I was so mad at the end. I was damn near going wide open around the whole track. I was so mad. Like, how can I have 3 flat tires in one night? Each time I had a flat tire, I got a little bit more mad and drove a little bit more hard. And then it was getting down to the end of the race, and I had gotten another flat tire, and you got to start at the back, and I wanted to get back up into the top. So the very first race I won, it was in the pure stock. I'm here. Daisy is very needy right now, so I've been having to tend to her. Yep. The very first race I won, it was in my pure stock. This is the middle of the season. I'm finishing last place every race because I don't have no experience on dirt. I've experience on gravel roads and street racing, and I thought I was the best driver ever. But I get out into the dirt, and it's a different ballgame. And these guys know what they're doing. So the very first race, I'm towards the back when we start. Anyways, somebody bumped me a little bit, and I get spun out into the infield. Okay, the flag stand man, he's used to me now. He's like, nope, we know your car's running. You get going. I'm a half a track down. I'm like, no caution. I got my hands up when I go by the flag stand. It's like, nope, you get going. So I'm so mad because they didn't throw the caution. I'm so far behind. And I'm like, I'm just mad. I'm mad as a hornet. I drive through, I catch up to them. With about halfway through the race, I'm up to the back of the pack. Okay, I'm starting to pass cars. 3/4 through the race, I'm passing for the lead. I split 2 cars right to the middle. I don't know how there was enough room. I never touched either of them. But I passed them both, and then I think I led 3 laps at the end and won the race. It was the best experience, one of the best experiences I've had in my whole life as far as racing. Michelle, if you still here, you all need to come to Louisiana and race with us. Well, I don't know if we'll race with you, but if we get down that way, we'll come and watch you. Politics. I don't know what leisure means by politics. I guess it probably depends which route we take to go down to Florida. I don't know if that Louisiana is close to the route we'll be taking. But I told Michelle, like, if we're driving down there and I see some dirt tracks, or we can find out, like, I'd like to see some dirt track racing on the way down. And I told her we're going to take our time when we drive down there because I just don't want to drive straight down through. We got a motorhome. We could stop and relax and enjoy the sights as we drive down. Probably talking about Daisy. What else can I put up here? Yeah, there's the mod, what it looks like. No, that's not the one I want. There's one I want to race. Politics and racing, if the points leader spun, they would have thrown the caution. Oh, so I did have a bad experience at Deer Creek, and I don't think I've raced since this, but so we're in our heat race, and I didn't qualify for the feature. You got to get like top 3. Yeah, you probably got to be top 3 in your heat. You got to be top 3 in the B main. Okay, so the same guy that I was talking about where I won the race at against in Lansing at the first race of the year. This is maybe years later. It was years later, but anyways, the same guy. I finish third in the. I pass him in the B main at Deer Creek, and I finished third. So I qualify for the A main. Well, I come back into the pits, or Scale come back into the pits, and I want to get my car going because we don't have much time. And I asked one of my pit guys to go get the lineup because I'm going to be making the A main. We goes down there, and he comes back, and he's like, "Pete, you're not on the lineup." I'm like, "What do you mean I'm not on the lineup?" I'm like, "I finished third, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." So we go talk to the race officials, and they favoritism that guy. They said he would have passed you in the next lap. I'm like, well, that wasn't official. I finished third officially. Yeah, but he would have passed you the next lap. So after that, I was really upset. They never did anything about it. They just let it slide. The fans were all mad because they all came down to talk to me. They're like, you made the A main, but they took the other guy instead of you. So I was very, very, very upset with that, and the track guys, and I let them know about it. And my pit crew and all my fans were a big deal out of the track. We were all locals, and this is at the local track, 5.5 miles away. And I'll never forget it. So someday we'll get evened up on that one. I'm going to tell you that. I brought a lot of fans to that track. Man, I see them chocolate chip cookies that my customer gave me, and they're sitting right in front of my face, and I want one, but I'm not going to eat one. Leisure says, at our track, the points leader had a crash. The track crew was taking a long time to clean up. Dennis pulls back, and they were suddenly ready. Yeah, there is track favoritism, especially. There must have been something when I was racing that guy that he had some kind of sponsor deal going on, and he had to make it. Just I beat him, and that's the only time I ever beat this guy at this track. He was faster than me at this track, and he probably would have passed me at 11 laps instead of 10. But I got third. I should have been in the race. And I didn't even get paid. You got to make the A main to get paid. I did make the A main. I should have got last place. They didn't even pay me. Timmy says, we run crate racing USA rules down here in Louisiana. USA or USRA? Just had to grab another beer. So let's look at them. So here's a modified crash. Here I crashed, Timmy. Look at this. This would have been my first year. Yeah, I learned a lot from driving my first year. And in every class I jumped up, it was a bigger learning curve. And on this car, I didn't like to damage the interior panels because the interior panels were harder to fix and make new ones. Yeah, actually, a piece of the sheet metal came in and went through my fire suit and got me in the leg a little bit. I was bleeding a little bit. Mom was pretty upset. There's the pure stock, and I love that car. I built the whole roll cage and everything in that car. Did all the modifications, so-called souped up the engine and transmission and stuff like that. And this car ran the whole year on the same engine and transmission and everything. Might have broken axle in the back. It had a 10-bolt Chevy, 7.5 inch. So yeah, 7.5 inch 10-bolt. The axles are not very strong. So I broke an axle because when you're in the corner and you hit a rut, it would flex it too much and break it off. Broke a couple of axles. I still have some spares in the garage somewhere. That was my first street stock. Which street stock is probably more equivalent to Timmy's hobby stock. And there's my other street stock. And that's a Wasota, but we could run what was called a regrooved Hoosier tire at that time. More of an economy. And this car still had a 7.5 inch GM 10-bolt, which I broke some axles on this car too. And right underneath the driver's seat there, that's a big lead weight. There's my exhaust pipe. And Napa, look at Napa sponsored me back then. They would give me little things here and there. Like stuff for my engine. Like if they had parts for my engine, I could get that. Like an oil filter or oil or spark plugs, spark plug wires, distributor cap, radiator hoses. They would sponsor me all that stuff. But eventually in the modified, this year I was heavily sponsored, but eventually at the last year, wherever that picture is, I ended up not having any sponsors because it was hard to get money out of them. Oh, it's in this. There's more pictures. So towards the end, is it this one? Yeah, towards the end, this is the guy I worked for, so that's why he wanted his name on the car. But I got rid of all sponsors but him, and he would help me out. The main reason is I got to use his shop and his equipment to keep my car going. And they sponsored me like trailers and pickups and stuff like that to get my car to the track. Time to use in the shop. I got to use all the bays in the shop, and I always worked my 8 to 5 every day. Leisure stuff all came, leisurely stuff all came at the end of the day after 5 o'clock, after you punched out. Then I could bring my own cars in. And I got able to finish good enough that I could keep this car going. Yeah, especially in the lower classes, it's super, super hard. And it was such of a hassle for me to keep talking to my sponsors and get them to do what they said they were going to do. So I just I don't need sponsors. So I ended up just putting my own money. I even went and got a bank loan to keep me operated in this car. And when I went to the bank to get that loan, she's like, "You want money for a race car?" I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Do you have collateral?" I'm like, "Well, I could put my toolbox down." Well, how much? She wanted a picture of my tools and my toolbox, and I put that down for collateral. And sure enough, she gave me the money, and I paid that loan back, and it was only a year long term on the loan, but I paid it back in 3 months. And then she's like, okay, this is going to help your credit, and if you ever need a loan again, come on back. But I never needed a loan again. My street stock is the classic Camaro body style. I missed that one, yeah. Okay. Here's me standing next to a nice Corvette last year. I don't like this body style Corvette. I guess they're pretty fast though, the ZO or ZR1. I think it's the fastest Corvette ever made, the ZR1. This is how I'm going to pull my race car, Timmy. I'm going to pull it with my A-Team van on an open trailer. Then I'm changing my colors to orange. What do you think, Timmy? Yeah, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm running out of things to talk about. I just look grateful. Yeah, no, I think that would be cool. You guys got any General Lee race cars down there that are 01 and orange? Come on, you got to have one. I know you got to have one. Somebody down there. Timmy's got a question. Why do you get a school bus and pull it? I don't. Here's my truck. I don't have a school bus. You mean, should I get a school bus? It'd be a lot of work converting an old school bus. I always open. I remember my first year, I pulled the car there for test and tune on a car dolly because that's all I had. I had an S10 pickup, 2-wheel drive, and we had a car dolly, and I car dollied my car to the track. I was 22 years old. I don't have this trailer, but the trailer I have now I built myself. There's no picture of it in here. But for the modified, we ran 1-inch offset wheels with 1-inch spacers, so it was really wide. It wouldn't fit on a trailer like this. So I had to build an extra wide trailer, and I still have the trailer. But for a while there, before I built my trailer, we would put stock Chevy wheels on it, which were 5-on-5 bolt pattern. I think I had to drill them out a little bit for the 5/8 studs. But we'd have to jack up the modified, put the stock wheels on it, and then put it on the trailer. And I got sick of doing that, so I built my own trailer. And that trailer has been good to me, and I've had it for many, many years. So if I went racing again, it would be pulled on an open trailer with my Chevy van. I pulled my race car many years with my van. Where's the van? Right here. Here's what I got. And that used to be a fire extinguisher sticker there on the sliding door. Yeah, you could probably find a school bus pretty cheap. That's what I did in the early 2000s with a school bus. Yeah, it's a lot of work probably to cut that all out. And don't they just like cut the back half off and leave it open and then make some ramps? And then the front half you make into like an area for you guys to sit and bring your pit crew and all that. Yeah. We ran loader wheels on the front to get the car on the trailer. Yeah, see, I'm not the only one that does stuff like that. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad you were able to relate, Leisure. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I even ran a 325 gear in the rear diff, a 9-inch, because you could get those. They were out of stock, like out of a pickup, and we had 325 and 350 gear. And then I would run a 3-speed Saginaw, and we'd run in second. But I would rip the input gear off the transmission off, the teeth off the input gear. So the very front gear that hooks to your, I think that's, yeah, the input shaft. I'd rip the teeth off of that. And I got sick of finding Saginaw transmissions and putting that input gear in them all the time. So we finally switched to run, like I chose to a 514 gear. Finally switched to a 514 gear and put the spool in it, did it the right way, and ran in third gear on the Saginaw and never had any trouble after that. They make ramps and make barn doors for the back. Yeah. No, there's some race car bus race car haulers around here. That's a great idea. And they work really good. I never had a bus. If I had a bus, I would have done it for sure. The van I bought for $75, and the guy sold it to me because he thought I could use a 350 engine, which I could. Yeah, I ran. That's what the modified has in it right now with the Ram triple disc. It's a three-speed Saginaw, and I can take them apart and put them back together with a blindfold on my around my eyes. Any advice you can share for removing the dust underneath the vehicle? Would you still advise to undercoat even with underbody rust? Yes. Anything you can do to stop it from rusting, especially with the brine they put on the roads nowadays. You can anything you can do. You can get the paint remover pads, the 3M black paint remover pads. You can get a little sandblaster off of Amazon. You want to be careful though, because if it's rusty, she'll remove all the metal. But yes, get some fluid film, or I even got some. I'm gonna go get it for you. This stuff is some really good stuff. It's military stuff. Let me go get it. Richmond 2-speed. Yeah, we can run all kinds of transmissions on our modifieds. Bert and Bryn. I think you can even not even use a transmission, just use a coupler. Yeah, this stuff. And then I'll get the traditional ones that I use. Yeah, I'm coming. So here's some of the sprays I use. Surface Shield is really good. It's the cheapest one. Fluid film is good, but it smells really bad. This stuff here is kind of expensive, so it's RP342. And it's a protective wax coating. It's like what they would coat the engines down with and parts down with that shipped in military containers. So I bought this stuff on Amazon because I used to repair frames and I wanted to protect them good because I didn't want to have to warranty it or redo it again. So lots of fluid film, and at the end I would spray this stuff on there. You also can get a rust eater that will treat the frame before you or the body before you spray the stuff on. All right, Leisure, have a good night. Yeah, we're getting ready to shut her down really soon. But I just wanted to show Jono the undercoating stuff. Yeah, regular undercoating I don't use very much. But this kind of stuff all the time. If you're going to use undercoating, yes, use a truck bed liner, Rust-Oleum truck bed liner instead of undercoating. That stuff is even better. Yep, we're all kind of getting talked out for tonight. Thanks for coming, Timmy. Glad you came. Glad to have you on here. RP342. Yeah, let me go get some of the truck bed liner if I have any, because that stuff is something. If you're gonna do rust protection, preventing, you need that stuff too, and it's truck bed liner. I don't have any of the truck bed liner left. Which is weird because I thought I had some. Okay, so there's no truck bed liner, but I'm sure it's the Rust-Oleum stuff. Maybe it's way in the back there, but I can't get to it. So it's a spray can of truck bed liner. That stuff is really good. Mexican Specs. Adios all. Mrs. Speck and I are heading out to record our next members video. Okay, cool. I'm going to catch up onto some of your live feeds. I thought that was very interesting that time I came. So yeah, we're getting ready to shut her down, sign off. What do we call it? I called it something. It's right on the top of my, right up here. It's a sign off. Something. I had it last time. Yep, thanks, Jonah. You're welcome. So yeah, I'm gonna sign off, and I'm gonna thank everybody for coming. I had a great time. It's nice talking to all you guys. Thanks, Mexican, for coming. I'm gonna catch up with your. I'm gonna come on to some of your lives. I had a fun time when I came on there that one day. Saturdays are tough for me, and then I tried to catch you the Sunday, but I couldn't find you. So yeah, signing off for tonight, and thank you guys all for coming, and catch me next Tuesday, and we're going to be on the portrait style. So I'm calling it. Yeah, calling it. That's what it is. So I'm signing off, and I'm calling it right now. So thanks, guys. Have a good night, everyone.